So how do you see kind of the field of marketing evolving in the future, and what challenges do you think we'll be facing in 3 years that we're not facing today? I mean, you know, is there what do we have down the road?
You know, let me speak a little bit to my current company. I mean, you know, it's challenging, right? You mentioned the proliferation of different channels and so forth. So even when we gain customers, you know, we do marketing, we do search marketing, we do social media, we have a blog that we spend a lot of time on, we do content creation to drive better SEO results, and we bring in leads. We have a freemium model, we offer some free tools so that we can get some exposure and collect names, and then we nurture those leads, and we use Marketo to kind of nurture the leads and bring them along when they're ready, and then we use Salesforce, you know. And I got to admit, it's even for a company that's pretty technically savvy because we write software, stitching that all together and knowing when we win certain customers, where did they really come from? Did that originally come from a PPC ad, and what keywords did they search on, and so forth? It's tough, you know. It's tough to stitch all that together. So that's a challenge. I think that'll be with us for a little while still.
Well, in a certain way, people are people, and you can put all these tools out there. You can have a lot of you know, obviously like social media, blogs, now are outdoing email communications, right? They're more effective. But ultimately, you get back to there's a personal relationship which closes more deals than anything. So you know, I don't think that'll be replaced. But I think one of the things is video is one of the reasons why video is so prevalent. We're going to be talking about that in a minute, because it's that's a better form of communication than just reading text, right? So, but then even then, now you have, okay, well, video is interactive components and you know, video the answer. Well, when everybody starts having video and there's 5 billion views a month off of videos, how much, you know, you really have to have. I think one of the challenges is creating really compelling content, because there's a lot of stuff out there people are throwing out there just to say, well, I have, you know, they're playing in the space, but there's so much content out there. The proliferation of the channels and the proliferation of the content is just going up and up. So how are you getting people's mind share with so much competition coming in that can all do the same thing? So it just seems to be a never-ending type of challenge. And I think in a lot of ways having relevant and strong content is going to be, you know, all the bells and whistles win the game. You have to also have very compelling, sticky content to draw people in. And that's something that I think a lot of times when we talk about with technology, that's great, but what if, you know, you have to still, it's the content that really is ultimately the winner, right? And I think that often gets forgotten about. How you deal with that? How do you have enough people, resources, and a company to provide all that content and keep putting it out?
Yeah, I think the resource issue is a big factor. I think companies and organizations are going to struggle with finding the right kind of individuals who understand the technology, who understand the data, that, you know, and can process it and can digest it and analyze it, and who also at the same time understand the business goals and the drivers and the content drivers that help, you know, their organization succeed relative to their competition. And so I think, you know, resources, I think, are a big factor. You know, when I think about what the major factors are, kind of thinking 5-6 years down the line, I certainly think resources is a big part of it, and technology is certainly another part of it. To me, it's all about, you know, it's also about kind of knowing about the user at that granular level. And I almost go back to this concept of attribution, which is a big factor in terms of, you have all these disparate systems, you have all the data coming out of there, but how are you going to connect the user movement, so to speak, across each of those different touch points? And then how can you build something that, you know, targets that user when they need to be targeted at the right time with the right kind of content? And I think that's a big piece that a lot of organizations out there are really trying to solve.